All right, starting my stream. Woohoo! Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's see what we can find.
Warning. Warning. Main bay doors opening. Please keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Stream will begin shortly.
Standing on Theta.
You guys just started. I suppose that Kodo and I could do a quick drop too.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a group. I'm in. Kodo, are you in?
Yep.
Yes, you are. And you have been invited, and I am ready. And here we go. We'll try to catch up to them.
Two assaults, Delta 4. A stalker and one other. Also, contact
HPT
Echo
manifold.
4. We're being pinched.
So the rule there is push one side, preferably the weak side.
It's Solaris.
Oh. You can still push one side if you can watch your back.
Not in a conquest
Actually, probably be
match
better
where we
off
have to
pushing
defend
the
point.
Oh, it's what? It's conquest? So what should you do then?
Defend the point. Use the buildings as cover.
Yeah, but you're being attacked from both sides. That's tough.
I know.
Can't you, well, if they don't all focus fire, you're probably doomed anyway, so there's that.
Annihilator pushing.
Earl of
India.
Bronze. Nemesis. I am a robot.
I'm dead. Well, that was fast. Still did 430 damage
Ooh, nice.
in the first 5 minutes of play. Well, I'm actually going to pull myself out unless you guys are already in a match.
We just dropped in.
Awesome. I might as well wait then.
Online. Weapons online.
Besides, it would be too long.
Systems nominal.
They're not there to cover our ass. Behind.
Did you say hi to Barbette for me? Or she can hear me?
I think she heard you, but that's okay.
No, that's fine, as long as she did. I just wanted her to know that I was going to try really hard not to cuss, and that I question her reality, whether or not she's really her or not. That's all I was really trying to
Actually, she might be over there in your chat now. I don't know.
say. I don't see her over here.
That doesn't mean she's not there. She could not be typing yet.
Right. Sure. Can I get over here now? Which map am I on? No, this is not the right way to go. Was she playing also, or is she just
she
in the
was
chat?
playing.
She usually quits about the time I start, so that's pretty common.
She was playing an Atlas with MRMs and an LB-20.
She likes MRMs, I think. I've seen her in a Marauder, I think it was a Marauder 2C with 4 million MRMs.
I
Might
mean,
have
I'm
been
not
just a Marauder.
surprised. MRMs
She
are
was
great.
she was doing all right with it too. I think if I had to meet her on the battlefield, it would be preferable that she was on my team.
Well, she was on my team for the match that I dropped with her in.
Seismic Echo 5, multiples.
Target acquired.
So there's about 5 of them in Echo 5.
Well,
They have a nice little firing line.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
Delta CT open.
Left torso critical damage.
All right, I'm not staying here.
Airstrike online. Heat sink destroyed.
You're way too spread
Left
out,
torso
folks.
destroyed.
They're pushing
Left
underneath
arm
Echo 5.
destroyed. Large pulse
Head popping
laser
above.
Destroyed.
Target spotted. Target
Pushing out. We need
spotted.
help here, guys. Turn around on them, please.
Target spotted. Target spotted. Target spotted. 75%.
Juliet basement.
Center torso critical damage. Heat sink destroyed.
And I can't hit anything. Wow, I got killed, and I didn't even get a kill.
well,
It's gonna be a tough
the heck
night,
you
I'm
doing?
afraid.
Artillery strike
Ah.
online. Target
I even backed
acquired.
off and tried to get some
Right
distance, and
arm
they just
critical
chased after me.
damage. Left torso
And they kinda pushed
critical
through.
Damage. Left arm critical damage.
Target spotted. Looks like only half of the enemies remain.
well, these things happen.
We're up
Shake
by
it
one,
off.
though, shockingly.
Target spotted.
These things happen. Shake it off. Get ready for the next fight.
25%.
Shake it off! Ooh, uh-oh, 6-6. Our Irby just died. That means we're at a loss in the odds. Whenever you lose an Irby, that's bad news.
Yep. Sure is.
Man, it's hot up here. The cockpit's hot.
Target
Own the
spotted.
battle mechs.
Kodo, are you still alive?
Nope.
Target spotted.
Sorry to hear that. I kind of liked
Oh,
you.
it's okay.
Oh, well.
I zagged off alone on my own. Alone on my own, and I got tough, but
New
I
target
still did 500 damage about.
Wow.
So not too bad.
No.
Left torso critical
As he
damage.
walks away from the mic.
Sorry, I had to take my socks off. It's just way too hot up here.
Left.
Stripping down to my Mechwarrior cockpit attire.
Which is usually a jumpsuit, or not a jumpsuit. It's like a cooling vest and shorts and a tank
Yeah.
top.
Yeah. If even a tank top, right?
Yeah.
Light Charlie 5.
All right.
Is this guy a disconnect?
Do I want to run the heavy metal? I kind of want to run the heavy metal.
Nope, he's just
New target
hanging out down
acquired.
here. He's got 2 kills and he's pretty fresh. He had a Zeus.
Zeus is a fun mech.
Goes 101. He's got
New target
4 SRM
acquired.
4s and 2 snub-nosed PPCs. Did it have
Pretty
jump jets too?
Pretty tanky build.
Target
I don't think the
spotted.
Zeus has jump jets,
New target acquired.
but the Highlander could run jump jets.
Oh, he's got 4 kills. Or 3 kills, sorry. Guys, we're up by 2 now. How come he's not using his MRMs? His SRMs.
Is he out of ammo?
Acquired.
No, he fired him. I just didn't really see it.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom.
Oh, he's got 4 kills.
Man's Fox 5 on the wall somewhere.
Doing some work there, Swade.
Trying. I'm all
Well,
short range.
you won't have to be embarrassed when you come out of the match, at least. Like I am.
Oh, I just had one of those. Got taken out early, all in the back.
Yep.
Target acquired.
I mean, I stream, and most people come and watch me just to watch me die, but I hate to make them so happy so soon.
I hear you.
Because I want to build the anticipation, you know, and make them wait for me to die.
Target spotted.
Hey, Pillbot, welcome.
Target spotted.
Friends, welcome, friends.
Target spotted.
SRM ammo at 25%.
Just got one left. We're gonna win. I hope it's because I told them about the push, and they responded appropriately. I'm gonna take credit for the win, even though I had almost nothing to do with it.
8 level critical.
I saw a really odd
Target
build earlier.
destroyed.
Great work, guys. Thanks for the drop. What'd you see? Heard
I
that?
saw a catapult that had like the missile arms, but it also had dual LB-10s. So it had the missile packs, but it also had ballistics on it as well.
So Sergeant Sway did 4 kills, 1145 damage, like a boss.
I'm assuming it was
Wow.
the catapult C2.
At
because
least I
that's
wasn't the
one that-
lowest in the match.
You know what? I think I'm gonna try the C2.
The stream's just started, Pillbot. That was the first drop. So it's been fantastically disappointing so far. We're right on track.
I'll get the C2 later.
And let's see, in tier 3, I'm going to go to tier 2 tonight or down to tier 4. It's 50-50. We'll see what happens. Okay, do you want me to give you an invite, or do you have a group going already of people?
I do not have a group going at all.
Well, you don't even need an invite. You just need to come on over then.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to drive.
Wait, you were at a demolition derby at the racetrack, Pillbot?
Demo derbies are fun.
I've never been to one.
Good atmosphere.
I went to a trans LGBT Pride Day celebration thing today. It's quite interesting. I've never been to one of those before. Because my eldest is transitioning, they invited us to come and to support them. We went. And it was really kind of sad in some ways. I mean, I'm happy. I want people to be happy, and I want them to be whoever it is that God has made them to be. I'm all for that. And to a large degree, you could see that a lot of people there, that was the case. They're happy and comfortable in their skin. Then there was this kind of a smaller, much smaller number where you kind of felt like they're, I guess it's because I'm a somewhat private person, but I feel like they're just putting more out there than I need to know or want to know about their life in areas, and just by the way they're dressing and acting and stuff, and it's like I'm not really comfortable with that. And they're doing it around. There was a lot of young kids there, and they had a comedian on the stage who was really inappropriate as far as his content for the looked like maybe 100 or more, maybe 200 young kids in the audience out there, and even my trans 30-year-old thought, yeah, that's not really appropriate at all. And they weren't funny. So it's kind of, and Claire said, if you're funny, you can get away with quite a bit. But if you're not funny, I said, yeah, if you're not funny, it's a bad look. And it was really cringy. But, all in all, it was good to be with them. And both Jennifer and I, it's like, well, we love people and we don't really care about the details so much. So our job is to love people. That's what we are about. And so I don't really care what their orientation or anything else is. And then there's also a sliver of people where you think they maybe are just, and you're going to find this probably anywhere, but it seems like this brought out a certain fraction of people, again, small fraction, that you just kind of felt like they maybe were mentally not well. And kind of like some of the homeless people you see. They're just not, they're homeless because they can't hold down a job, and we don't do anything to help those people at all. And that's really a whole nother sad thing to talk about, but I don't want to go down that road. But all in all, it was a good day, and it was just a totally different experience. We have the thing called the Oregon Country Fair here in town. It's been going on for like, I don't know, 40 years maybe.
Green board, dark.
Okay, here we go. And it's just a bunch of hippies in the forest in big fields and forests and stuff, and live music, and lots of pot and lots of free, lots of body painting, full upper body painting with nudity and stuff. And it's like, I've just never really wanted to go. My wife's been like 3 or 4 times, and she says it's quite the experience. I'm not even interested in doing something like that. Because it's usually really hot, and this is actually my thinking. It's not like, I don't want to be around those people. It's like, it's really hot, it's really dusty, and so you're going to be sweaty and covered with dust and in the hot sun for 4 hours. And I'm just like, no, there's nothing that's going to draw me there. I wouldn't go to any event that's the context of.
Well, for anything like that, the performances that are being held better be worth it if you're spending all that time and all that energy to be there when you could be doing other stuff.
Yeah. I thought the Pride thing was generally a pretty good thing for a lot of people. It's more than I've ever had, I guess, in 30 years of doing it, but not something I would normally go to because I'm not that particularly interested. But I am interested in supporting people to be treated like people with respect and love. So in that sense, I'd probably go again, just to show support for something that I don't experience, and I don't have to or need to agree with them. I just want to support their right to be who they are. Eugene has a gay men's chorus, a choir. And we were walking by that booth, and the guy just saw that I was looking at him because my wife she directs a choir, and I've sang in choirs and stuff. And I just glanced, and he was really up, forward, because you're at a booth, you're trying to work the crowd, right? And he said, "Hey," he pointed at me, he said, "Do you sing?" And I said, "I do." And I walked over and talked to him, and he said, "Well, you should join our choir." I said, "Well, honestly, I probably will never do that." And he said, "Well, why?" I said, "Well, because my wife has been a director of the Oregon Children's Girl Choir for 35 years, and I used to sing professionally and in vocal jazz octet and in studio stuff and in vocal jazz groups and quartets and stuff, but I don't." He said, "Well, then you should both come and sing with us." I said, "I really don't like choir concerts. I just only go to Jennifer's because I have to, and my kids were always in choir, but I don't really enjoy them, and I'm way too busy with other things to, if I was going to spend the time to do something like that, I'd pull out my trombone and I would go." There's a local big band group here of ex-professional and educators and stuff that play. It's called Swing Shift. I would probably pull out my trombone and I'd start playing with Swing Shift because I really love playing big band stuff. He said, okay. So it was kind of funny because he thought, "Oh boy, I got somebody who's wants to sing and he'll want to come sing in our choir." I was like, "No, I'm not really gonna do that." Got plenty of other things to do.
Occupy your time with.
Yeah, and then plus a lot of times I don't know in this case. So this is my conjecture that may or may not be true at all. But I have heard one of the gay choruses in town here sing, and they're not very good. And I don't care about that. What I care about is the repertoire they choose to sing. I don't like. The songs aren't very good, and they're super preachy about being gay. And I want to do. If I'm going to sing, I want to sing great music.
Well,
Airstrike
it's one thing if
online.
it's like Pink Floyd or Elton John or something like that, because those are like who I think of when I think of musicians who are in the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
and they are.
But there's not a lot of
legends in the
choir
music field.
arrangements of their music, and normally
Right.
I'm thinking of great vocal jazz groups or jazz tunes and really great choral arrangements of great choral pieces and stuff like that. I'm not impressed with a lot of modern composers anyway of choral music, and usually whether it's it doesn't really matter what orientation message they want to give. Any choir piece that hammers a message into your face is not a piece I usually want to sing, regardless of what the message is.
Walking Bravo.
And a lot of composers don't have the subtlety to do that well, to write stuff that's really good that way.
All target locks are appreciated.
Target locks are free tonight.
Target acquired.
Right.
I'm in luck.
It's a good day to be a lermer.
Target acquired. New target
Hostile Griffin
acquired.
trying to jump on top of the Citadel. Watch for him. Actually, he's already up there.
Hope somebody can
Golf
keep him
7 side of the
suppressed.
Citadel. Hostile Griffin on top of it.
Charlie's still behind that.
Heat level critical.
Golf's in the open.
Target acquired.
Raining Golf.
Golf's got cover probably.
Lost Lock Golf. Raining Hotel.
Target acquired.
Yeah, Hotel Annihilator needs some attention.
Send him some free love.
Missiles are free
Design cover,
tonight.
Blocking India.
Target acquired.
You get a missile. You get a
Sorry about the
missile.
friendly.
Warning, incoming
Raining India.
missile.
Need assistance?
Blocking Juliet. Viper.
Fuel at 25%.
Oh shoot, couldn't get up there. We got trouble in the backfield here. I can help.
Moving to engage.
Has started to chip away at us.
Got trouble. We're being hit in the back. We
Foxtrot.
need some help.
Fuel at
At Gulf 5
Echo as well.
and Gulf 6. There's 2 or 3 of them over here. I can come around now with you.
Blocking Echo.
New target acquired. New target
Out
acquired.
of
Somebody
LRX.
get that guy in the Citadel.
Lima could use some love with missiles if you can hit him.
New
I
target
can't keep a lock on him though.
There's a Viper in between the buildings.
Heat level critical.
There's a guy up top here at the back of the Citadel.
Okay, we need to like spread out because we're shooting each other in the back.
Hostiles, take down any more of you.
I'm down.
Nice kill. Look, top.
1 to 9, Jesus.
I think we're losing.
Heat
Fuck.
level critical. Left torso critical.
With all those free missiles too. That's really sad.
Heat level critical.
Here they come for the end.
Heat sink destroyed.
I'm down. Nice try, guys. It was fun. Thanks for the drop.
JFS game I've ever lost.
I mean, if I'm gonna lose and die and be humiliated, at least it was with you guys.
Damn right. There we go.
I did 520.
positivity and all that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if I'm going to run LRMs, then I'm going to run all LRMs.
It was
cheering for the sidelines.
That was a good match, actually. I don't know why we
What's up, Corsair?
got tromped. We were doing pretty well. Pillbot, just whatever makes you happy, and then wash your hands after using the bathroom. I know, kind of right. I mean, it's musically talented as a train crashing into a car. Oh, well, that can end with a big climactic bang, though, so that some music pieces, you know, they work that way. Hey, Corsair.
I don't think that was their point, but thank you for being positive about it.
I'm trying to be positive. I don't want Pillbot to go away thinking I should never try to sing. But maybe it's true. I don't know. It's like I taught my kids when we'd sit around the table, and we were eating. Jennifer's a really good cook, so they're used to eating good stuff. Come on into the group, Corsair, unless you want to grab Pillbot.
Oh, don't you have 4?
I've got only 3, but I could take another, or you could start another group with Pillbot and sync with us, and that'd be fine too. Anyway, we're sitting around the table, and I said, have you guys ever been like somewhere and like they rave about the food and you sit down to eat it and it's just really bad? And they said yes. They've been over to a friend's house and stuff, and because they've been kind of spoiled. And spaghetti is a typical example. People will always say, oh, you know, my mom makes the best spaghetti, and you get there and you eat their spaghetti, it's like, this is not even really spaghetti. I don't know what this is, but this is not it. And anyway, I just taught them. I said, well, here's what you do in that situation. You can always say, and I was joking, of course, but you don't want to tell them their food's bad. What you can say is, you can like taste it and you go, wow, I've just never really had anything like this before. So then we were making up different ways to say, not that you like it, but that it's unique.
Dark, the positive role model.
Yeah. I don't know if they've ever used that or not, but it's the kind of thing you'd say to a friend, right? Not to someone real. Not a real person. Not like real Barbette. You wouldn't say it to Barbette because we don't know if she's real. You guys agreeing we're waiting for Cody? It's in the mech lab goofing off. Grab a spanner, tighten that bolt. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, launch.
So in the last podcast, or devlog that NGNG did with...
I pulled that up.
Darren
I haven't listened to it yet. Fill us in.
Spark Notes, at least from what I can tell, is that somewhere in September, around the September patch, we are going to get Terra Therma, the old school one.
All right. Cool.
It's going to have some minor changes to the middle to make it a little bit more accessible, but otherwise it's going to be old Terra Therma.
Have they, like, what's the reason why they couldn't bring some of these old maps back sooner? Did they have to revamp a lot of stuff at some point or something?
It was more of a matter. It was less of a matter of that they couldn't, and more of a matter of whether or not they should. Because you have to understand, most of the community in this game, regardless of anything else, is very polarized in their opinions about things. You cannot please everybody at any time, no matter what they change.
Right.
People will get mad for the smallest things, and the idea is trying to find the changes that are going to make the most sense and please the most amount of people. So, for example, incursion. They're in serious talks about getting rid of incursion, or at least reducing the rotation rate of incursion from popping up to it's basically non-existent.
Why?
Because nobody likes incursion.
I don't even care. It's like incursion. Okay, fine, whatever. I don't care. Get me on a map. Give me mechs to shoot.
Yeah, but you don't care. But there's
some people do, yeah.
People who are completely incensed.
Why do they hate it so much?
Exists. Because it doesn't make sense. They don't know how to play it. Something like that, where it's either a skill issue or it's just
They just
bad
don't
in
feel
terms
it's
of design.
good having it at all. It's no point in having it, they think.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about
But
it?
I don't particularly care either way because I'm not really familiar with the game mode myself. I basically kind of treat every game mode in this game as skirmish with extra steps.
Right.
Because that's what it is.
Right. You always have to kill things or you got to cap things.
Yes. Most of the game modes that I've played are skirmish with extra steps.
Yep. You either cap points or you cap the center and keep the center.
Locking Alpha.
Whoa, careful, you're pruning the trees there.
And? That's
Well,
not
maybe
a bad thing.
well, it did open up the canopy. It's nice and light and airy under there now.
Helps my LRMs fly. Locking Bravo if I can.
Charlie, Incubus coming in, box 6.
Target acquired.
Oh, hello? Can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Oh,
Who is
hooray.
that? Pillbot, hey. Yeah,
I'm dropping down so that I can get better
I had a shot
better
here.
lines of sight and lerms.
I was having technical difficulties with my headset.
That happens. That definitely happens.
Oh, we're out of the circle. We need to push into the circle or we're going to lose on cap.
They're going to shoot me when I come out here. It's not going to be pretty.
Warning, incoming missile.
I can't get
Idiot
into the
baller
circle.
up front.
We don't have anybody in the circle still. We need somebody to get in the circle, please. Even if you go around the backside and hide over there.
Target spotted. Online.
I'm in circle.
Thank you.
Target spotted.
Why is everything going so slow?
What? Because we're dying.
Target spotted.
Come on, guys. We're not going to win this by sitting on our butts. Let's go. Get in the fight.
Got one.
Yep.
New target acquired.
I am the Inner Sphere's most okayest mech pilot.
Oh my gosh. You have claimed the fame. Way to go. Are you like totally okayish? That's how good you are?
Yeah, I'm not just good, I'm good enough.
Wow. That's fantastic. I wish I could say that. Obviously, I cannot.
Almost good enough for government work.
Wow. That now you might be stretching now, overreaching.
Maybe. I might have to prove that one a bit more.
Airstrike.
Come on, buddy.
online. Airstrike activated.
He's gonna come out because he's getting blasted. Oh. Here he is.
Airstrike online.
Where'd he go? Oh,
We're going to lose this.
Warning, incoming zone.
negative. I refuse to lose.
Heat level critical.
Uh-oh, I shut down. I might lose.
Warning, incoming missile.
Yeah, we're gonna lose. I didn't realize how far behind we were.
Well, like I said, we're not going to win this sitting on our butts.
At 25%. Warning, incoming.
That king crab is still there. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Damage.
Jeez.
Incoming missile.
Nobody wants to actually fight, and you're all that's left.
Left arm.
I'm alive.
Damage.
Not for long.
Dead.
They fixed your problem.
Your efforts here have
Well, I got a kill in 718. I'll take it. Better than just getting one and no kills. Wow, look how much damage I took. I took 697 damage, so.
You did 718. And you got a match score of 407.
Is that good?
You are second for the entire match as far as match score goes.
So I am maybe almost good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not approaching Pillbot, who is good enough, but still.
Coleman Rendar is the
top score.
Big Kahuna.
Most okayest pilot.
He's the most okayest. I feel like that's a great title.
Of this match.
I mean, that's like if you look at a bell curve, you know, with the F's on the one end and or F minuses or whatever, and the A pluses on the far end. You're right at the very peak of Mechwarriordom in the middle at the top of the heap. You're the most okayest. You've reached the pinnacle of average. That's fantastic.
All right.
Almost turning that whole curve around after the A plus, looping back to the F minus. I'm in that gray area.
It almost flipped around like a warp bubble or something, like a white hole.
Well, clearly being fire support tonight is not working for me, so we won't.
You don't want to support.
Like in Star Trek when they have the alternate universe and everyone has mustaches.
Right. Do you have a mustache?
No.
You should maybe get a fake one for when you're playing Mechwarrior, right?
Maybe. Maybe it'll improve my game.
Yeah.
We have a green board, but we also have a slot open if you wanted to pick up Pillbot.
I think Corsair got Pillbot.
I am playing with Corsair right now.
Ah.
Yeah, we're syncing.
And dying with me very well.
Oh, nicely. Nice. Corsair, did you beat your ping?
No.
Oh,
well,
that's heartbreaking.
What the heck are you doing?
I only got 43 damage.
Work harder.
Okay, here's what you need to do. This will fix everything. You need to call your ISP and spend more money for a faster, lower latency ping. That way, it'll make you look better when you play.
Yeah, but my damage was 46.
Yeah, but if you had a ping of 10, you'd still have quadrupled that, right?
True.
It's worth the extra money. Sure, it's optics. Sure, it's spin. But it works for me. I totally, he quadruples his ping.
No one's trying to use the phone while you're playing?
Just me. Oh, you mean I can't do that?
Yeah, you got to leave that phone in the little modem cradle thing. The little rubber ear cups.
Just trying to order a pizza. I was wondering what all that screaming sound was.
Oh my gosh, Jessica's streaming tonight and playing Hunt. And we get a message saying that her pizza will be delivered soon. And we're like, what? Yep. And she ordered pizza. I was
there when she ordered the pizza.
And DoorDash, right? And then we have to listen for the doorbell for her pizza that she did not share with me. And then when I open the door, and then I have to go answer the door because she's not listening. And we're watching a movie, so we have to pause our movie. So 3 of us have to pause and have to go answer the door. Turns out it's somebody that we know that our kids went to school with that's delivering the pizza. So you have to tip them, of course. But I don't have any cash. And so then I have to go get her and get her off her stream so she can go tip the poor guy.
And she's in a tournament at the moment.
Oh, is she in a tournament? Is that what she's doing?
No, I have no idea.
Probably. Right.
I think I don't know if the tournament was over or not. But
oh my gosh.
I think it ended already.
We're green. Are you guys green?
They're in a match, I think.
Oh, still a match.
Currently deployed, they are.
All right.
I am dead if you just want to back out of this match.
I'm dead. I can back out also.
You have to get into a different mech, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Please. Give me an excuse to pick a different mech.
Yes, any excuse to get out of this match. It's embarrassing.
I'm back in tier 2.
I am not.
1 pip, man. I'm 1 pip in. Last night I was in, out, in, out. Tonight I started out, and now I'm in. We'll see what happens. They're just right in the no man's land there.
Alrighty, what mech?
We're gonna run the Vindicator and see if we can't do some work with it.
Sure, let's go with this one.
I'm going to go with the...
Everybody watch. Hey, Joe Creek, welcome. When I was a kid, my parents got a second phone line for the computer so I could play and then could use the phone. So then I would play with friends, modem to modem, and use the phone to chat with them while we played. Your parents must have spent a lot of money for you, Joe. My parents never would have done that. But I was younger. It would have cost a lot more back then. Well, actually, maybe not. I mean, phone lines were like, what, $35 a month? It still seems like a lot. That's $400 a year, right? My parents.
Real question is, who still has a landline?
I do.
I have a business landline, but it's through my cable modem, so it's a dropout regular landline. Basically, it's not a regular landline though, obviously, because if the power goes out and the cable modem goes, the modem goes down, you lose your phone line. I think.
Is it a business line to Chateau Marauder?
It's a business line to Aardvark Hill, the music publishing company.
We're green.
3, 2, 1, launch. So yeah, so I can take Christmas musical orders and choral music orders and stuff like that, which I don't get very many, but I get a few.
Enough to keep the line.
Yeah, the line itself probably. When my parents passed away, there was some technical stuff in the place I was hosting. My site got destroyed, and they were non-helpful in getting it back, so I'm having to rebuild everything, and I couldn't do it at the time, so I'm kind of slowly bringing the Empire back up. And so for the last couple of years, I haven't really sold much of anything. I've got to get everything back up, then I got to start marketing it again and pushing it in the search engines, and I just have Jennifer's mom's kind of in her last leg, so probably it's not going to happen for another year anyway. But when it was up, it was certainly enough. But then you've got overhead for web servers and plugins and updates and stuff like that. So yeah,
absolutely.
I spend about $1,000 a year on the 2 websites that I do business off of. Do they make $1,000 a year right now? No, they do not. But we do make money off of royalties from some of our contemporary worship songs, and that covers it anyway. So it's it's still all kind of music related, and it all goes into that same pool that things get sucked out of.
I'm still trying to find ways to generate passive income that don't include running or getting into the stock market, because I have no idea what I'm doing if I'm getting into the stock market. So
Cody,
I don't want to even touch that kettle of
Cody,
fish.
let me tell you. Oh no, here I go. Is Hellbringer around? Because he's gonna try to shame me into not talking on my own stream. You need to run, don't walk, and buy 2 books. First, I'll tell you why. Here's the motivation. Jennifer's mom and dad. My mom and dad were generous. He was a college professor. She was a teacher. They always made enough money to take care of us, but we didn't live high on the hog by any means. But whenever they would get enough money, they would either improve the house, or they would buy a newer car, or they would buy a sailboat, or we would go on a trip, right? And so they were always living month to month all my growing up years, and they would say things like money doesn't grow on trees, and we can't afford that, and blah blah blah. It's not like we were super poor or anything, but we weren't well-to-do by any means either. So Jennifer's dad was super poor, but by the time Jennifer was in college, and then by the time we got married, he had enough money that we couldn't qualify to get a house. Even a $40,000 loan, we couldn't qualify to get that, and a house was $40,000 back then. And so he bought the house, and then we paid him. And by the time we'd paid off a quarter of it, so we'd paid off $10,000 of it, they took us out to dinner, and they gave us the title to our house. and forgave the $30,000. And they did that for us, and they did it for 3 other of their kids, because they had 4 kids, and they did the same thing for everybody. So they gave away $120,000 to their kids that year. And then when our car was dead and we had kids, young kids, and we couldn't afford to get a different car, because I was a youth pastor making nothing, they gave us a $10,000 van, and they gave $10,000 in either a vehicle or some other thing to each of their other kids. And they set up college funds for each of our kids and all their other grandkids to the tune of $5,000 each kid when they were born. So my kids, who, because we didn't have a lot of money, we qualified for scholarships at colleges, and they had really good grades. They were like 3.8 or 4-point students. I think they were all 4-point actually in high school. They got free rides and scholarships and stuff, and so they got to keep that growing in some stock investments, because he gave them $5,000 in some stocks, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know exactly how much each of them has at the moment, right? But I'm going to guess they each have about $60,000 to $80,000 from that $5,000 from 20.
So it's
20
definitely
years ago.
accrued
Definitely
more profit than it originally started with.
Yes. And they didn't do anything. It
Thing
was
is,
Go ahead.
as far as investigating in stocks or investing in stocks and stuff like that, I have no idea how to even start.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to give you that answer. So, anyway, when Jennifer's mom passes away, which we certainly do not look forward to and don't want, we're doing everything we can to keep that from happening. But when she passes away, Jack's already passed away. She will leave behind probably $6 million or more to the 4 kids. So we'll inherit $1 million+ probably from his career as a stockbroker. Now, I had lunch with him often. We would make him go. Jennifer would call him up and say, "Are you hungry?" And he'd say, "Yeah, I guess I'm hungry." And he'd take us to lunch. And my parents took us to lunch too all the time, but they couldn't really, and they would help us. Like if we were really tight and didn't have any money, they would always be happy to help us. But they kind of helped whichever kid needed help, and it wasn't always the same amount for each kid. Not that we cared; it was fine, But they just couldn't do it equally to everybody, and because they were always, trying to make it all juggle. So we started. I got this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and I started reading. It's not written very well. He's not a very good writer, but what he says is fascinating and true. It's true because I've seen it in my life. I've seen it in Jennifer's dad's life and my dad's life. And what he basically says is, well, I would start reading the book, and he had 2 parents. He had a rich dad and he had a poor dad. And his poor dad was a college professor, just like my dad, who wasn't poor, but he always lived month to month. And they always increased the things they owned rather than increasing their assets that created money for them. And his rich dad started out poor, and his family owned a chain. Started with one convenience store, and then they had a chain of convenience stores, and he ran those and opened his own and had rental property, and then ended up owning big hotels. And then by the time he died, he was one of the richest men in Hawaii. So 2 completely different trajectories, and the book is about how they thought about money and how they dealt with money differently. Oh man.
Trying to nab this ice ferret before I die.
Fox direwolf. Oh no, I'm being alarmed. Ouch, ouch. Don't shoot me, everybody. Stop it. I'm friendly. We're a friendly neighborhood, Timberwolf. We're up by 7. So the poor dad would say things like, we can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. Sorry, you can't do it. Rich dad would say, well, money's made up. You can have as much as you can imagine. How can you come up with the money to do that thing or buy that thing? And totally different opposite things. And we'd read through this, and And we'd read it in bed together, and we would start laughing because my mom and dad were in that book, the things they said growing up. And her dad was in that book, the things he said to her all the time growing up. It was really interesting. And the proof of the pudding was that he died a millionaire, and my mom and dad died, with a fine pension, and that was it. And I inherited, I think there was $60,000 left when my mom and dad passed away that we used for our cottage, and we turned that cottage into an Airbnb, and we make $40,000 a year from that cottage now for 7 years. So we've taken that 60 and we've turned it into 4 times 8, 60. How much is that? It's a lot of money with hardly any work. I mean, it was a ton of work for a year.
Yeah.
But then after that, we spend an hour a day to make $40,000 a year, right? So Rich Dad Poor Dad is the key to thinking about money differently, so that you and it comes down to, I'll give you the crib notes on that. It comes down to assets are not what people think they are. We think that an asset is a car or a house, like our house is our biggest asset. Well, the house is not yours until it's paid for. It's the bank's biggest asset until it's paid for. So it's really not an asset. And the way you can tell the difference between a real asset or not is that a real asset will feed you when you can't work, and a liability will eat you when you can't work. So if you have to make a house payment, car payment, boat payment, insurance, paying off student debt, whatever it is, food, all those things eat away at your income when you can't work and chew away at your things that make money, passive income, rental income from rental properties, stocks, other investments, things like that, all feed you whether you show up or not. I mean, you might have things you have to do, and there might be maintenance work you have to do, but you could farm that out to somebody else if you get sick and get it done and still make the income, right? So most Americans believe that, and they get advice from financial advisors all the time that, well, if you've gotten, your house is your biggest asset, so if you make a raise, if you get a raise, you should get a bigger house, and then you can get a bigger asset. But you're really just buying better houses that you're paying for and paying the bank lots of money for. Instead, you should stay in your house, get it paid off so it actually becomes an asset, and put that money that you're making extra into other investments or things that will make you money when you're not working, or if you're sick, or things like that. And that is exactly the flip side of that mirror, is exactly the difference between what Jennifer's dad did and what my dad did in their finances. And so the book is great because it illustrates that and shows you, and I can tell you it's 100% true, 100% true. And some of the best financial advice you could ever give anybody of any age. So get Rich Dad Poor Dad.
524 damage and
so
no
that's
kills.
one of the books that you recommended.
I got 117 and no kills.
You did say 2 books.
Yep, I did say 2 books. The other one is.
We're doing good.
I actually did. What did I do for damage? I didn't even pay attention. I think I did okay. We're green.
I'm swapping back to my other bag.
All right.
Hold on just a second.
So the other book is called Contrarian Investment Strategies, and it's here. I have it right here. Actually, I'm just about to start rereading it again. And Jack gave Jennifer and I this book, and when I opened I'm starting to cry because I'm opening the forward to this thing where he wrote a note to us. And he said, Bruce and Jennifer, you need to read, then read again, keep it as a reference book, and you will be successful investors. Love, Dad. This is what he does. This is what he did when he was alive that he made millions of dollars with.
We're green.
And his accountant is the accountant 3, 2, 1, drop. His accountant. Hey, thanks for the raid. More cowbell. I just feel like I should have a cowbell sound to make that happen, because it's always good to have more cowbell.
Yes, you absolutely should.
Right?
You should have that on a soundboard, and you should be able to press the button and just have it happen.
I have a cowbell downstairs.
Oh, see?
A real one from Switzerland. I should grab that and pound on it, but I by the time we get in the match, it'll be too late. So thanks for the raid, and maybe I'll go find the cowbell in between things and pound on it a little bit. Anyway, thank you for the cowbells. Yes. Camp leader Zippy, if you want a wake-up call, look at a 30-year mortgage amortization schedule for a house. Look how much interest you pay over 30 years. It will make you cry. It will make you vomit. It's shocking and horrible. Same thing with a car. If you're paying on a new car or something like that. Anyway, it's called Contrarian Investment Strategies, and this is by David Draymond. What's that?
I said I didn't do it.
Oh, no worries. Happy raids. I'm off. Good night. More cowbell. I'll try to ring the bell later for you in your honor. So what it is it's basically people are constantly trying to guess and outguess and pre-guess and, crystal ball guess the stock market. And so they bet for or against trends, and they see trends, and then they start betting against it or for it. And it's largely fear-driven and crowd-driven. And this is because humans are doing it. And even if computers do it, they're motivated by the coding of fear-based humans and greed-based, right? So it's fear and greed. They're constantly going off each other. So basically what happens is a stock starts going up, everybody climbs on the bandwagon, and they try to ride that until it starts to falter, and then it's always going up and then down and up and down, up and down. It climbs over time, and you don't know when to get off that train, right? And it's stressful, it's risky. Even typical stocks can be risky, and it's tough to win. It's tough to guess those correctly all the time. And in fact, if you look, Jack's accountant, his CPA said, I do the taxes for you and and many of your clients, and I do the taxes for many other stockbrokers and many of their clients here in town. And your clients and you are the only ones that make money off their investments. Substantial money. Some might make a little bit, but generally they either lose or barely stay the same as inflation. And Jack's clients and he made money, and his CPA noticed this and made that comment. And so I asked Jack, one day I said, what do you do that, works? And he said, well, it's really simple, actually. I subscribe to a service called Value Line. It's about $400 a year. This was 15 or 20 years ago. And it comes out with a report that gives all the standard stuff that other companies give, but it also gives a good focus and emphasis on the value of a stock based on its cost per share versus the strength of the company and the current likability in the market. Like, do people like it? And if the companies, and it's only blue chip stocks, so they're big companies that aren't just going to go away in a year because they screwed something up, and they've got lots of systems in place to keep their business in play. And things get tough, they just downsize and they stay in business, right? So it's well managed, but for a business. So it's like IBMs and things like that. And he said, what we do is we pick the top 10 stocks that are performing the best for a client or my own portfolio. We do this for our own portfolios and for our clients. We pick
We're being sniped at from Charlie 4.
We pick the top 10 best performing stocks of the year or the 6-month period or whatever, the year typically, and we sell those regardless of what the forecasts from other stock advocates are. So somebody will say, oh, it's great, it's going to go up, you should keep it, and they will say it's performed really well over this past year, and now we're going to get off the table. And to replace them, we will buy 10 stocks that are the least liked by the popular crowd of purchasers and advocates, but they're from strong blue chip companies.
We got one pushing up.
And we'll replace our best ones with those that nobody wants, that are still great companies. And then we let those ride for 2, 4, 6 years until they become the best performing ones of our set. And then we sell those off and replace them with the least valued.
Guys on our base.
I guess the way to say it, the most undervalued blue chip stocks. And what that does is that it gets you great deals on good companies, and you're not waiting for them to instantly perform miracles. You're just giving them time to turn whatever slump they were into around and become popular. And once they get popular, people start catching on, the price starts going up, and then they get more popular, and then it goes up, and then they get more popular, it goes up, but then it's going to crash soon, and you don't wait for that. You just say, okay, we've made money now off this stock, way more than we paid for it. And sure, it's predicted to keep going up, and we could keep it, but it's now getting to the place where it's valued about right for what it's doing. We're going to get out of it now and sell it at that high value, and we're going to buy something that's very undervalued. And I said, is that all you do? He said, that's all I do. I said, really? That's all you do? He said, yeah, that's all I do. I said, it's that simple? And he said, yes, it's that simple. I said, well, why don't other stock brokers do that with their clients? And he kind of shrugged. He said, I don't know. And I said, well, where did you learn to do this? And he said, well, it's this book. And he told me about the book and stuff. And I've been doing it for 20 years, and it always works. It outperforms the stock market year after year over decades and decades. It outperforms the standard, a Standard & Poor's or whatever the Dow rating for the year. And he had a partner named Pete, who's our stockbroker now, who was quite a bit younger, that he kind of tutored in this. And then Pete took it a step further, and he just created his own set of tools and spreadsheets to track these companies much more easily for him and help him, pick things based on what he's learned and stuff. So basically, he just manages stock portfolios based on that principle, and they make money, and it works. And there's not this a really good example is when we had the big downturn in, was it the end of around 2000?
You want to kill him? Do it.
2019? In the 1980s? Was it the 80s? We had the big downturn in the 80s, and
well, you get a few kills.
I got to get over here, and people were losing tons of money in the stock market, and people were freaking out. Oh shoot! And he would come home from work at the stock market, and we'd say, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" He said, he kind of shook his head and said, "Yeah, that this kind of stuff happens." He said, but there's some really great deals out there right now. So he was looking for things to buy while everything was dying, right? And he was not all freaked out because everything was going down. He was thinking, this is a buying market. This is when I'm going to buy great stocks.
I'm close to their base, so I'm going to be a distraction.
I'm down.
That's okay.
So it's a little bit of a thick read. It's not that it's difficult per se, but it's a little bit of a thick read. And but it kind of gets the basic thing down, and then you either need to call Pete Dracatos and ask him where to get started, or you find somebody who will actually do this. Don't go to somebody who is just a stockbroker that doesn't do contrarian investing.
Shot, suddenly, all of a sudden, he has a bunch of missiles come their way.
Because the whole strength of it is you're doing the opposite of what the rest of the crowd's doing. So when everybody's saying buy something, you're looking for something like that to get rid of. And when they're saying to get rid of something, you're looking for the lowest deal on something people want to get rid of that's still a great company. And they don't want to buy it. And you say, oh, look at that. it's a blue chip stock company that's 200% under its regular price. It's undervalued that much. I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna wait, and it's gonna come back up to regular value. And once it comes back up to regular value, it's gonna do even better, and I will have made 200% off that investment over a 4-year period or something, which is still 25% per year of improvement, and the Dow does like 12.
Right.
Well,
Yeah. Also, I kind of like was focused on the match halfway through that, so
Okay.
I mean, I got what you were saying, but
You can watch the replay, because I don't want to subject anybody else to going through that again. Highest
'cause it was,
recommendations
like,
for Rich
15
Dad.
minutes to a half an hour worth of talking.
Yeah, highest recommendations for Rich Dad Poor Dad. Highest recommendations for contrarian investment strategies. I didn't tell you this either. When we started remodeling our house, my father-in-law took me out to lunch. I was doing computer support, system support for a programming magazine, and went out to lunch one day, and he said, I was talking about computers a little bit, and he said, I bought some IBM stock today. That's a long time ago. And I said, oh, really? I said, man, I don't know if I would buy IBM stock today, because I'm the great stockbroker, because there's a whole bunch of companies in Korea that are coming out with clones of the IBM PC and the XT and AT, and they're super cheap, half as much, and it's only going to get worse because they're in their dogs jumping into that. And he looked at me and nodded, and then he smiled and he said, that's really interesting. I think I'll buy some more. So he just did the opposite of whatever I told him. And I'm thinking, okay. And a few years later, like 2 or 3 years later, he gave us $7,000 worth of IBM stock that cost him only a couple $100 when he bought it, because nobody wanted it, because they were taking a beating in the clone market or whatever reason. But I had no idea how big IBM was, and they internally consumed more PCs than any other and all other PC manufacturers globally combined, right? So they didn't really care if they were taking a beating in the clone market, because they just made them and needed them and used them themselves. But their main business is mainframes and supercomputers and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So their stock was low, nobody wanted it, and he bought it. And then as they turned a few things around and the market adjusted, and boom, up they went. So he gave us $7,000 of IBM stock with a really big smile on his face. And the humor was not lost on me, and I had a big laugh about it, as did he. So then, hey,
5,
shenanigans.
10 damage and 4 kills.
Ooh, that's nice. So then we were going to remodel our house that they had essentially given us. And the materials, while I was trying to figure out what we were going to do and get the plans figured out and all that kind of stuff, the stock went up to $14,000. So it doubled in about 4 months. And I said, this is making more money per month than I'm making per month working. Shouldn't I just hang on to it? And he said, nope, it's for your house. Use it. That's what it's for. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. So we cashed in, I think we cashed in a chunk of it, and we had like $9,000 of stock left after buying our first 2 loads of lumber and stuff like that. And I was doing all the work myself on the house, and I was adding 2,700 square feet to it. We're green if you guys are green.
I'm green, yeah.
3, 2, 1, drop. And while we were using that wood, the $9,000 went up to $19,000 over a few months from that same few $100 investment that he had made based on nobody wanted it, but it's a big blue chip company that's not going away. So that's typically not how a stockbroker or a financial advisor will tell you to buy stock. They'll say, oh, this one's projected to go up, so we're going to get it. You should get that. It's really popular. Everybody's expecting it to go really, really high. That's not what the outlook was for the IBM stock. The IBM stock was, it's slow, it's hurting. This is a tough time to buy it. I'd wait till it, turns around. Well, you don't want to wait till it turns around to buy it because you don't get it for a deal then. You want to find a company that you know is not going away, and you get it when nobody wants it. That's contrarian investing.
So, for example, it would probably be a pretty good idea to invest in NVIDIA stocks right now because they're always going to be a thing, and although they're down in the market, that will eventually turn around.
Yes.
Yep.
That's probably very true.
I had my son buy AMD like 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, and he made out pretty well with AMD. And
yeah.
It's going to take
he sold it, now he's buying NVIDIA.
Generally, tech stocks are much more volatile anyway. So the ones that they normally invest in are not necessarily IBM. They could be some medical stocks. They could be some, it could be manufacturers of different types of things that have been around forever and stuff like that. So, tech stocks are a little more volatile and more unpredictable. But if you get a big company like IBM, or some of those, or Apple, right, could be a good example. If Apple was not in favor and people were, selling it, you're looking for fire sales of great companies. That's what you're looking for, basically.
Okay, so your Borg Warners, your Welch Allens, your places like that who are like constantly in the market and constantly producing things that people need to get things done.
And you want them when they're not popular, when they're cheap. So that's where the value line comes in. You're looking for the value. Is this blue chip company way undervalued for what it could be doing? And if it is, then A, you get in low because nobody wants it. B, you're minimizing the risk because, of course, any company could go down even lower, but the chances are that if they go down lower, there's not much more lower they're going to go because they're not going to go out of business likely. So then they'll still start coming back up. So you're minimizing your risk and you're maximizing your dollar leverage. So as they do go up, you're getting the most bang for your buck out of it. So it's a win-win all the way around. The introduction of this book, or the first chapter or something, tells a story about this guy who has never been to a casino. He decides he's going to go to the casino and see what's in there. And so he walks in and somebody greets him at the door and says, "Hey, I just kind of like to see what's going on here." And he says, "Yeah, I'll give you a little tour." And he walks in, and I'm changing this story a little bit because I don't remember the details, but as he walks down the hall towards the big casino room, he sees this room off the side, and in it are a bunch of people sitting around tables, casually, calmly playing cards. And they're just relaxed and couldn't really tell much about anything. Doesn't seem like anything action's going on. He said, "Well, is that like a bridge club or something like that?" He said, No, this is the high stakes, or the high, I don't remember. I should probably just read the dumb thing. This is the winner's room or something. And so they all are winning huge amounts of money, right? But they're just kind of calmly sitting there doing their thing. And then he says, "Well, here, let's go on down to the main room." And so they go down to the main room, and there's lights, and there's glitz, and there's noise, and there's jackpot sounds and stuff like that. And it looks like people are winning, but actually everybody's losing except for a few small, tiny percent. And the guy says, "Oh, wow, that's, why, what's going on here?" So like 95% of the people lose in the big room where all the glitz is, and in the other room where there's no glitz and it's all calm, 95% of the people win. So he's really excited about this, and so he goes home and he gets a whole bunch of money that he'd been saving, and he gets back to the casino determined to go into the room where they're making all the money and they're all winners. And he gets in the doors and he sees the glitz and he hears the sounds and all the lights, and he forgets everything and goes into the noisy room and proceeds to lose his money.
Kodiak pushing.
And that's what the stock market is like.
Good kill on the Kodiak. Second one pushing.
Got a Warhammer Hotel,
India.
Echo 4.
Warning, incoming missile. Warning, incoming
Wow.
missile.
India's pushing hard.
Warning, incoming.
Today's just the day of finances for me, apparently.
Oh, I'm just getting destroyed. There's very little of my mech left. Maybe it's too much
There
financial
is
talk.
nothing
I
of
should
my
probably
mech
change
left
that.
because nobody paid attention when I said, "Hey, India's pushing right now."
Woke up this morning and my girlfriend, partner, she was like, "Hey, we have an appointment at the bank." And I was like, "Whose bank?" She said, "My bank. We're gonna go set up a joint savings account."
Oh, nice.
So did that, and then they sat us down and talked to us about potentially investing and me moving from my current bank over to the bank we were at.
Well, be careful with your investing, because if you do it, if you stick it in even a money market fund. I mean, we have some money in a money market fund because we could get it quickly if we need to, but it doesn't make much, right? So that's fine. It makes a little bit. Checking accounts make nothing anymore. And bank advisors and financial planners will all basically tell you the same kind of stuff. And if you go to a stockbroker, here's something else to remember. Stockbrokers work for usually big firms, and those big firms put together managed investment funds where they do all of the picking of different stocks for you. And then you just buy into the fund, and then you get however well the fund does. Okay, well, that sounds great because you're spreading it out amongst multiple companies, and so surely most of them are going to do better, and so the fund does better. And that's, in fact, typically kind of what happens, although there's no guarantees in any kind of stock, investment, including the stuff I'm talking about. But they usually perform under the Dow average for the year. So they don't even keep up, usually. And it's the best investment advice they have. And the reason they push it is because they are required to push it by the company they work for that put it together, because that company makes profit off it whether you do or not, right? Your stockbroker makes money when you sell, and he makes money when you buy. And the stock company makes money when you sell, and he makes money when you buy. So another thing that contrarian
I figure
investment...
by the time everybody makes their dollar, you make 50 cents.
Well, no, it's not that bad, but it's definitely a cut. With a contrarian investor, like what Pete does, is it's not about turning that stock into another stock quickly. It's about waiting until it's the best performing in your portfolio and then turning it out for something that's cheaper. And yes, he's going to make money on both those transactions, and so will, he's actually an independent. Dane Rosher, he works, I think he places them through them, but he's independent from there. And Jack was Dean Witter for decades. But Dean Witter has packages they want you to buy because they make the money off those more. And so it's not really, and they're not buying those based on contrarian principles. They're buying them based on the predictions of their stock analyzers and their stock programs and all that kind of stuff. And they still either just perform or underperform the Dow growth over the year, even with all their fancy tech. And yet contrarian investment strategies work year after year after year after year after year and outperform the Dow. I think they have for 60 years. And it's
I want to sit down with the guy who my dad works for now. This guy, he was a bus driver who started his own scrapyard. And through business, investing, whatever, this guy's worth, I don't know, 150 million now.
It's crazy. But did he do it through investing or through companies that he built?
I don't know. I imagine a bit of both. It's one of those things I want to sit down with him, throw all my finances at him and be like, help.
Yeah. I can't recommend these two books enough, and I can't recommend my stockbroker enough, because he does this. And he does it enough that he's created his own tools to do it well with.
Well, it's funny
All
that
right.
you mentioned the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, because my journeyman at work, he's been telling me about that book, and he's going through it right now.
It's a great book. It's
Turn off the Zoom, dummy.
the principles in those two books have changed. I mean, I was a youth pastor for 35 years. I made almost nothing. And so if it wasn't for the generosity of my in-laws and the help, I had this beautiful big house. I had to spend 12 years of my life building it. So it's not like I didn't put effort into it. But I joke and I tell people everything I have of value as far as the monetary value, including my wife, came from Jennifer's mom and dad. And obviously I got great things from my own parents too. But if you look at the, our house and our, financial situations because of them. And although my mom and dad's inheritance, I got $60,000 from my dad and mom's inheritance, and that went into our cottage, right? So that certainly has, because I turned it into something, instead of splurging or going on a vacation or paying off a bill, we invested it in that cottage and made it an asset that pays us every month. We're green, by the way. We have...
I feel like...
Go ahead.
I feel like I'm in a pretty good position right now to basically take the money that I'm making, hourly wages and stuff like that, week to week, and actually start making it work for me, little bits at a time, obviously, not doing anything super crazy, but like there are tools and stuff that I have access to that allow me to basically take like $10 a week or something like that and put it towards investing in a stock, but just one or something like that for now, and seeing how it does. Because I am in a $600 a month apartment that I pay for. It's a month-to-month lease, so it's not like I'm tied into any super long-term thing. The second I find something better, I can turn around and be like, yeah, I'm moving out. But $600 a month.
I'm going to
plus,
drop out Corsair, so if you want to go drop with Marauder and them.
Where are you going, Pillbot? What's the deal?
It's pushing bedtime.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like an excuse I would use. Okay. I appreciate the drops.
So $600 a month, plus maybe $200 worth of other bills, like for example, electric and gas and my phone bill and things like that. I'm paying around $800 a month just to live. I'm not paying for my food. The state's paying for that, so I don't have to worry about that side of things. And I mean, I don't really have any other assets that I have to pay for. Literally, it's just the apartment and keeping myself alive.
Uh-oh, Gunfighter just got here. We just dropped Gunfighter.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm still logging in.
All right,
So I feel like I'm in a position where doing things like investing and stuff like that might be beneficial for me if I do it smart.
Yeah, and now's the time while you're young, because it's going to pay back over time. But I would suggest that you also look at you're not going to get very far very quickly if you've only got that small amount to invest in things, and you want to be able to leave it somewhere so it can do good for you, right?
I definitely would think of it more of as a long-term thing than a short-term.
You're not in a place financially yet where you could probably qualify for a loan to get a duplex, are you?
No, and I wouldn't want to move anyways.
Well, no, but if you could get a duplex. So the other avenue to generating wealth relatively quickly is through real estate, and not just flipping houses or that kind of thing, but through either having rental properties or having an Airbnb or some other way that generates income off that stream. The rental properties, you can have people who stay in your property pay for your asset, pay for the bank's asset, right? So if you've got a $1,700 a month payment on a fairly crappy duplex, then, and you can get maybe $1,100 per month for each side, that'll give you enough to cover that with some insurance and cover the taxes and a little bit of buffer to fix stuff as it goes on, and you don't make a dime off of it. right? Just to push with some padding to cover expenses. Occasionally have to upgrade something. You don't care because you're purchasing an asset that once it's paid off as rents go up over time, which they will, you can start to make a little bit more, but eventually you're going to get that paid off. And when it is, you suddenly have what was initially a $200,000 or $300,000 purchase. It's now worth $750,000 because it's been 20 years and somebody else paid for it. And suddenly you own it free and clear, and then you're just milking cash in off of it, right? So getting even Cody, if you were to spend, if you don't have that much money, you could get a tiny house from either custom made, which would be a little more expensive, or production made, like from Tumbleweed tiny houses. They're like $60,000 to $100,000, and you get yourself a little lot and you set it on there and you open it up as an Airbnb, and you bring in $2,000 to $3,000 a month off of it. Maybe even only $1,500 to $2,000, but your house payment on that thing, I mean, your mortgage on that little thing is going to be $600 plus whatever the property is. So maybe it's $1,000 a month, but you bring in $2,000 off of it.
I'll say,
right?
yeah, I'm gonna keep trucking.
So it's a passive source of income that feeds you when you can't feed yourself. So there's other vehicles, or they're all called vehicles, right? It's a stock vehicle that gets you to where you want to go. And when you're young and you can take higher risk, you can do that, but you don't have a whole lot of cash. So getting something that helps make you cash right away can be a great first step, because then when you're getting that other money that's coming in and you take that, you've got two choices now. You can start putting those in long-term stock investments, or you can say, oh, I want to get a duplex, and now I want to get a triplex, and now I want to get a 7-Eleven franchise. And you can just start doing all sorts of things, because then you'll have money coming in, and the banks suddenly will start liking you because you have a positive cash flow coming in, and then you can get them to issue loans. All sorts of doors start to open up. So getting a foot in the door of getting some kind of positive income from an asset is really, really powerful.
Airstrike online. Fuel at 25%.
Hope I didn't
Are they
just hurt.
swinging out, or
I don't know what they're doing. It's kind of. They're up there. Oh, I just killed somebody walking across. Oops, sorry about friendly. Sorry, so sorry.
you did not kill a friendly. You killed an
No,
enemy.
I know, but a friendly just walked in front of my shot right after that, and I hit him.
Heat level critical.
This is often a really great spot to poke at people.
You coming down? No, you're not. Okay.
Target acquired.
Hostile Night Star, Delta 4.
They are a quarter of the way there. Do not let them push ahead.
So, do I need to start a group?
Yeah, start a group,
probably.
and one of us will drop out and join you. So we'll have 2 and 3.
Heat level critical.
We're not very
So
far in
should-
this match yet.
Critical.
Like I said, should I start a group?
Yeah,
or no?
that'd be fine. Somebody will join you in it. One of us will drop out and join you. Ouch.
I'm not going to be playing for too much longer anyway.
Okay.
Fafnir's down.
Target destroyed.
Well, I see 6 people in here, so so.
Oh, there's 6
Took out
now.
the Direwolf and the
Uh-oh.
Fafnir.
Things are getting out of control.
It's okay, I took down the Direwolf and the Fafnir, so you should have an easier time pushing center.
Heat level critical.
They're rushing in on me. I'm gonna need some help. Oh no. Guys, can you come back here and help me in Fox 4, please?
They're a little busy.
Center torso critical damage. Left torso critical damage. Heat sink destroyed.
Alright, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. And while we're slowly dwindling away.
They got me. They got me. So those two
of you
books,
who are just
get
joining
them.
the stream, stay put. I will be back shortly.
Get them. Read them. Read them. Do them. It'll change your life. Promise. I'm gonna spectate.
Oh, I sent you an invite there.
452.
Hellbringer.
Hey, Hellbringer. Welcome.
Right torso destroyed.
Ooh, that was kind of a detuned war horn.
Did you got horns of war?
Sounds like it. It was kind of like you were dying. It was kind of sad.
You're dying?
It sounded like it sounded like they were dying. Hey, Shenanigans. I didn't really say hi to everybody as they came in. I was just busy talking so much. So, Fission Mechwarrior online and more cowbell and camp leader Zippy and Hellbringer popped in clear up there. I didn't notice you there. And okay, that's everybody. Everybody watching the stream, thanks so much. You're watching Ghostlands. I'm Dark Marauder, your host, and I'm also your instructor. I teach people how to be a Tier 1 pilot by doing all the wrong things so that you don't have to. Pay attention, do the opposite of whatever I show you, and you'll be a Tier 1 pilot in no time. That's right.
And I'm back.
The training's free. The education is priceless.
I don't know about all that.
I made it all up. That's
Time is
why
money
you're
after all.
confused.
One is tiny?
Yes. 2 kills, 325 damage dealt, and 398 damage taken in a Centurion.
Oh, how nice. Okay, do I need to pick anybody else up?
I don't know.
Shenanigans, are you talking about my dad jokes? Are you talking about my dad jokes? Do you need more dad jokes? I hope you're talking about my dad jokes. Try to find stocks with a decent dividend yield ratio as long as it pays me more interest than what my bank account would do for... Yeah, and a money market fund, a lot of times will do that. I don't think I've greened up here. Let me go do that. All right, I'm green. Here we go.
You have not.
3, 2, 1, drop. Savings account rates are a snore. Yeah, it's almost like you have to pay them to take your savings now. It used to be, I remember when savings accounts paid 4%.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
That hasn't been like that since Reagan was in office.
I don't know, like 40 years or something. It's crazy. Starting with why not look at real estate trusts or something. Wait a minute. So, Camp Leader Zippy, I'm not familiar with technically what a real estate trust is, so you might want to.
Then again,
show that
when those interest rates were at 4% for your savings account.
Yeah.
The rate on a mortgage was base 10%.
Yeah.
You know, I mean now the mortgage is what, 4%?
Yeah.
And that's if you're a screw up.
And it was down. It was down like, wasn't it down to like 2 point something or 3 point something? Not
like I said, it's like 4% even if you're a screw up on Clinton's Fannie Mae crap.
Yeah.
You know, that caused the original
housing bubble
to begin
burst.
with.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a mess. I have a high interest savings account, 1%.
Usually when bubbles burst, it is a mess, a soapy mess.
It was a mess by administrative policy.
Yeah, it was.
Our government caused it as much as anything else. Yeah.
You know, it's like, we got to get people that can't
afford to make a payment. We're
that
going to let
have
them
no
buy a
record
house.
of paying back loans and
they don't make enough.
Have a record of failing loans
And they don't
But we
make
got to
enough.
give them mortgages now.
They don't make
For
enough to
more
make
than
the payment. They can't even make the payment. We'll give them a loan, or we'll get them in a loan that is going to go up by 10 points in a year or 5 years, and then they're going to get blown out of their house. It's a sad.
And they were starting those at 10% or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was after, like I said,
I don't think
the interest rate had gone down.
I don't think anybody should be buying a home at 10%, even if they're. If you have the money to do that, you might as well just pay cash for it up front. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
I didn't mind paying 10% for my home because
Sorry, go with the
it
rest of
wasn't
the
even
team. I'm going to Kafka's point.
All right, because it was only 20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's. Then.
Take a guess when I bought the home.
You bought it 40 years ago, probably.
I was 21 when I bought it.
How old are you now?
I'm 57.
Yeah, so
A while ago.
quite a while.
Like I said, Reagan was still in office.
So, and I don't think about the dividends much, because if their dividends are paid, we just leave them in to the stock. We don't draw them out. So they just add to the investment value of this, or the buy more stocks with it. But I don't know the answer on whether or not that's the best way to do it. I just do whatever Pete tells us to do. I don't worry about it. And he's open. Like if I say, hey, I'd kind of like to buy this stock, what do you think? He'll say, yeah, you could get that. This might be a better deal. And here's why, and then I can decide. So it isn't like I don't have to do what he wants, but he's way smarter on it, and he keeps the numbers, and he gets the reports and knows how to read them and knows what to look for. And he's been successful for 30 years doing
Salt
this.
heavy over at
So why would I not?
Capital.
Understood.
I got third one of them.
Anything over at Epsilon that you guys can see, because I'm going to try to cap it if there isn't.
Holy shit, we got like 4 people coming to Kappa.
Understood.
2 assaults, 2 heavies, and I'm not sure what else.
Yeah, this is a bad place to be.
There's a fire starter watching over Theta.
Should we be going somewhere in particular? Are we going somewhere in particular, guys? I'm a little bit out of sorts of where we're actually going. Looks like we're just spreading out further and further.
Wow. I didn't
Which is
realize you guys all left me there.
Spreading out's a good way to lose, by the way. Just thought I'd mention
I
that.
held them off as long as I could. But
And I know all the ways to lose.
Flooding the comms is also a good way to lose.
Well, nobody's talking but me, so I don't think it matters.
But how many are in Kappa?
there were at least 4 at Kappa, maybe 5.
2 assaults,
towards
2
Alpha.
heavies is what I saw.
Do not let them push ahead.
I think this guy went around here. I'm going to go down and say hello. Yep.
Yeah, I can confirm there was a heavy Marauder, assault Marauder, Orion, and King Crab.
Got airstrike on us.
Those are the ones I saw that took me down.
We have data.
Good kill.
We have taken Sigma.
Ah, I got one.
Target
Charlie might be alone.
Centuria Charlie, if you got Lerms.
online. New
Oh,
target
I guess he's
acquired.
dead. Maybe not.
Nope, he's right there.
Okay, I thought he disappeared, so then I saw somebody fall.
Start. Keep holding the resource points, warriors.
I don't know what's up here, but I'm going to go take a peek. Shouldn't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Dark Marauder. Don't do it. I did it.
You're still alive? It's good.
I'm still alive, shockingly.
That being said, I think it is about time that I ended my stream and took off.
Okay.
Heat level critical.
Oh, I shut down. Okay, Cody, thanks for the drops.
Absolutely. I did manage to kill a piranha before I left, so you're good.
Nice, thank you.
Target destroyed.
Alright. Catch you later.
Alright, bye-bye. Oh, I shut down again. Dr. Love's just shut down is on a roll.
Minor 6 gunfighter.
Target acquired.
Our foes are halfway to victory. Resource point Epsilon.
Dark, you may have somebody coming up to your right.
Thank you.
Critical.
Maybe I better cool down before he gets here. Is he like behind me-ish, or?
Well, I died to your left, so...
I don't see anybody over here.
Oh, they may have moved.
Oh, here he is. He doesn't see me.
That's him.
I'm gonna do a little back shot.
Okay.
Last one. Top.
Well, I'm heading high, so
Y'all went and died in my back to my back. That wasn't nice.
There he is.
Target acquired.
I'm tore up pretty good. my CT is cherry. Whoa!
Where's he coming from?
Where were you? Where did it come from?
Yes.
I just got tagged. I was up here, I don't know.
Oh, I shut down. Darn it! Didn't think I was that hot. Oh.
Okay, Delta 5, Delta 5.
Yeah, I found him.
Oh, there was two on me. I thought I was gonna get him.
Stay alive. We have 3 points. Stay alive.
Thought I had a shot at that guy. Interest rates.
Well, I got 8
their
assists
highest point in
and a K
modern
down,
history,
so
1981, with
and I didn't go
average
down.
16.63. Man, and there was like credit card interest rates for still like 21%. Ridiculous.
Run over to Kappa. See if you can go all the way
Look
wide
at
side
you.
to Kappa because they're going to be going to
Not
beta.
bad.
Excuse me.
You say you're still paying 21% for credit cards?
No, I don't. But
And you
I
got
mean,
stealth
it's out.
offers,
I think you can get it still, or have it done to you is a better way to describe it.
See, they got a bunch of slow ass fucking mechs.
I don't pay.
They're
I
not
don't
gonna
pay. I don't pay any interest on my credit card because I always pay it off. I don't spend money unless I have it to spend.
Oh, no. I mean, you do it the way you're supposed to?
Yeah, accidentally. I don't do that on purpose, of course. That wouldn't be my style.
I mean, I use my credit cards to buy stuff and then pay it off.
Yeah, and then I get 3% or 1% back on things too, so they actually gives me a kickback a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Give me some rebate.
Yeah, I've got like those
They're gonna have a
quick
couple
silvers or
months
whatever, you know.
Maybe get a bit there.
No, I don't know what those
and
are.
it's like 1.5% back.
What are those?
This might be close.
Quicksilver cards.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that is. Is it like just another card, like a MasterCard, Visa type thing?
Yeah, I've got a Master and a Visa.
Yeah.
You know.
But is Quicksilver a Visa or is it a MasterCard or is it its own thing?
Yes. Yes.
No, I'd say probably. Yeah.
They are.
Left leg critical damage.
I mean, if they're going to pay me to buy groceries, you know.
Nice job.
Yeah.
That one right here. This should be good.
And gasoline, if I'm going to get a % back on it, so I might as well, right?
Right. And for if you go any trips or anything too, yeah, it's good.
And if what?
If you go on any trips and you have, you can get back on flights and hotels and all sorts of things if you do any kind of traveling and meals.
Well, I mean, I'm not able to. I'm grounded, so I can't fly.
But I mean, for regular other people.
And usually most of my trips are VA sponsored, so they pay travel.
If today's rate, hang on. If today's rates were like that, and you borrowed $250,000 at 30 years, the total price of the loan will be $1,256,000. So yeah, so you're paying 5 times basically at that interest rate, 5 times what the selling price is. It's just kind of makes you shudder. My skill rating went up, surprisingly. Did we win that or lose that?
We won.
Oh, that's why it went up. Okay. Wow. Wow. I'm surprised I didn't get... Okay, we'll be in a minute. I'm surprised I didn't get him in 2 alpha strikes to the back, but he must have had more armory.
Yeah. He was green. Wasn't really army green, but...
No. Supply cache. I've got a lot of supply caches now. I have 65 unopened supply caches.
Oh, I've got an Excel in this thing. Hold on, let me see.
I just got another one also.
I'm 2 pips up in tier 2 now. I'm just rocking it. I
have 2 pixels in tier 5.
I was like,
yes.
Yes. You are climbing up off the deck.
Awesome.
That's impressive. What happens, I think, I'm not sure how their logarithm works, but you kind of stay in tier 5 forever until you finally start moving it, and then it moves pretty quickly. So you might start picking up your pace here now.
I don't know. When I was playing with you before I took my break,
yeah,
I was almost at 3.
Yeah, and it's hard to climb back in. It's really weird. What are you saying, Kodo?
Gunfighter, do you want to join us? We got the free spot.
Isn't he with Hellbringer?
Yes, I'm with the Bringer of Hell.
Here, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch with you two, and drop with Gunfighter and Hellbringer because I haven't dropped with them tonight at all. And I've been with you guys all evening. Well, not Corsair, but
that's on y'all.
If you guys will give me an invite anyway. I may
it's more, you can just join on me.
I may have just cooked my bacon without anybody. Okay.
The bacon has been cooked.
The cooked bacon. Camp Leader Zippy, you're still tier 5. It takes a long time to get out of tier 5. I was in tier 6 for a year and a half. No kidding.
Are you all green?
Yep, we're green.
We are green.
Okay, count.
I can't. You have to do it.
Count.
3, 2, 1, drop.
There you go. Was that hard?
It was difficult because I didn't feel like I had control of something to click or anything. I was like,
you didn't.
Performance anxiety.
Yeah. What am I gonna do? I can't make it happen.
You might actually get a sync drop.
I have to trust someone else to click the button. Working on getting 800 to 1k damage and at least 2 kills a game. You'll be top of tier 1 in no time. If I always got 2 kills and 800 damage, that would be great. I don't. Oh, excuse me. Is it getting late? It must be getting late. Yeah.
You are funny.
I can sometimes do one or the other and not both.
As long as I don't drop pilot levels, I'm happy.
I know. Like, stay equal. Do 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 do. All right, here we go. Here we go. I wonder if
No,
Barbette
my
is
wife got
lurking over
COVID,
here.
So I have to cancel my appointment
Izzy
at
Beth,
Washington
hello.
University and
Sophia
reschedule.
Fox, I've seen you before. Palin, I've seen you. Toast and Waffles, welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you before. Ghosty209. Manning Wilkins, welcome. Danking Around. Dakota Cola. Devin Claw, welcome. Clark is Superman. Ooh, I feel like that's a spoiler. Welcome. Campbell Soup King, I think I've seen that name before. Ariam, I've seen you before. Hi.
Alrighty, Hellborn.
Airman, I didn't say it right. Airman. Action Shin. Alexis the Nexus, I've seen you before. Welcome. 420 of something, I'm not sure. And Supa. Zero Supa. Welcome, everybody. I see that you're lurking. That's totally okay. I didn't mean to call you out. I read that it's terrible to call people out who are lurking because it's rude that they would be known. Yet, I don't think so. I think, you know, if you're making bad life choices by lurking in my stream, then that's what comes with the territory. Because I'm happy to have you and want you to know it. So I'm going to call you out. Ha!
So you're a lurker? Is that what you're saying?
There's lurkers, and I'm going to call them out and tell them thank you for lurking. And if they don't like it, they're just going to have to learn to deal or get counseling. Right? They could go get counseling. I'm surprised Twitch doesn't offer counseling for people who lurk and then get called out. Because they allow it to happen. They're kind of, you know, they're kind of stuck with it. Love the investment chat. Well, hopefully that'll be helpful to you.
Well, let's see here. I'm not seeing them on the op 4.
Jennifer and I have been extremely blessed. We've been in careers that don't make any money. And because our parents have been generous and they have helped us, we still get by.
I didn't catch that Dark joined our group, so we didn't see.
What? It's my fault. Darn it. What did I do this time? Mechs and money.
I thought we sync dropped, but I see you joined our group.
I did. You didn't notice that I joined your group?
Not until just now.
Well, fortunately, I thrive on rejection, so it's okay. It's good.
So we're going against Frank and Mittens.
Where? I didn't... Oh, Mittens is out on the prowl.
Yep.
You're a prowler?
I keep locking up. What the
No,
heck?
Mittens is. Frank and Mittens is. Well, Campbell, have you heard of this book or read of this book? It's a great book. I mean, it's financial stuff. It's not like, ooh, that's fun, but it's like, oh my gosh, this is really fascinating and amazing. And when you get to live with the consequences of it, like I have, it's like, oh my gosh, this is great.
You're living with what?
I'm living with the consequences of someone who is a very good investor because he's blessed us and
okay.
in ways that I never could have done as a youth pastor for my own family.
Airstrike online.
I mean, I have someone, I won't name who they are, who thinks that everything was given to us, and that's not true because while $7,000 of stock was given to us, I still spent 12 years of my summers full time building the house that I'm in. That's big and beautiful, and I still took out a $60,000 loan to pay for the rest of it. So
Target Charlie, we got
it's not like I didn't make it. I just didn't pay for it the way that they were thinking I should pay for it. I built it instead. So there's making money and saving money. And making money by not having to spend money and using it to invest. There's a lot. Money's an interesting thing. It's
Sorry, Kodo, I crashed.
having a handle on it and controlling it
that.
is a lot better than being the other way around.
But no biggie. I went in and got killed and
Hellbringer, I'm on your 6.
Nobody was in
I got a
hurry
feeling
to,
we're about to get into trouble. I just can sense that.
Just don't push too hard.
Golf roughneck?
Yeah, I was right behind you, and then suddenly I wasn't.
Yeah, nice. You're still scope. You're still DC.
Watch, oh,
Just
there's
now
my shot.
back in. Maybe I can get back into it.
Heading into C5.
Are you going around again? Further?
Yep.
I can't get over there without them shooting me.
There's an Irby running up high in your direction.
No, I can follow you now. It's funny because Hellbringer's in this giant mech and he tries to be sneaky and go around places. So I'll just kind of sneak over here.
Anybody in the direwolf.
You what?
I'll flank anybody with a direwolf.
Target spotted.
Behind, we got an assault mech.
What the? Why are my weapons not firing?
Need assistance.
Hellbringer, did you kill that little mech that was jumping up when we came over here at first?
No, he escaped, but he's
Okay,
almost dead.
I was just kind of wondering if he's going to show up on our back again or something.
He's D5, D6, most likely.
We're in D5.
Airstrike online.
Got an Archer Delta? Archer Delta.
Acquired.
Oh, I'm being shot.
Heat sink destroyed. Target
Delta down.
destroyed.
I'm dead.
Heat level critical.
Oh, I just got hit in the back.
Oh, I just got hit in the back. Watch your back, Hellbringer.
I just got my back tore out.
It looks like an arty strike killed me. I don't really see anybody. Oh yeah, there's somebody
No,
there.
you got hotel, awesome,
Yep.
and that light.
Left arm destroyed.
But I'm going to kill all of them.
Someone has to do it. You might as well.
Critical. UAV activated. Target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
How come you don't ever zoom in?
Don't need to. I've got a 40-inch screen.
Oh, okay.
4K.
Why waste time zipping when you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Warning, incoming missile. Center torso, critical damage. Heat sink destroyed. Override shut down.
I feel like you're just deleting things now.
Last one. That's the last one there.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
5 kills. Nothing wrong with that. You should feel a little bit guilty though, Hellbringer. I just wanted to mention
Why?
that.
No, I take my frustrations of life out.
You just snuffed out 5, pilots in a heartbeat. It was.
I went in reverse here. But I did take over 500 damage. Wow.
So what is a real estate investment trust, Campbell Soup King?
Uh-huh.
I was asking in chat. They mentioned a real estate trust. I don't know what a real estate trust is.
That's what I have.
What is it?
Even I don't have to pay taxes, right?
On your
Well,
property?
actually, I have to pay taxes, but the state can't take it from me if I pay taxes, mainly because I'm a disabled vet. However, it's in trust. The real estate, my real estate is in trust to my sister and my nieces.
Okay.
Which means you know.
No, I don't.
It's mine, but
when
when I die, it goes straight. It just transfers.
It doesn't have to go through probate to get to that.
And they don't have it. Yeah, none of the probate happy douche.
Yeah, but what Campbell Soup's talking about, that they're into doing real estate trusts, but like, what does that mean for you, Campbell Soup? Like,
are we running by ourselves? Or are we still trying to sync, or what?
What happened to the group?
I'm up for
Oh,
syncing.
I disconnected. That's what happened.
Corsair, what are you doing?
I'm not playing.
You're not
Crimson
playing.
Eye, welcome.
You have given up, Dictator.
You guys just realized I'm here. I've been here for quite a while, guys.
I just looked over here. You haven't said anything.
Hey,
I just looked over, and there you
Corsair,
are.
do you want me to send you an invite?
I'm gonna wait for Dictator to.
Crimson, I think that was sneaky of you to just kind of drop in and not say hello or something like that. Sneaky.
I did say something earlier, but you guys were like not actually notice how it was me talking.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about
Hey,
that.
Crimson.
Hello.
Crimson, you sound down. You okay?
No, just not feeling well. I don't know why, but it's been past 2 days. Maybe it's the weather's too hot now. I'm not sure.
It's been hot here. Well, hopefully.
Well, the last time the temperature was like up to 30. It was night. I have to turn on my fan to as big as possible.
Kodo, you need to lead a group. Or are you in charge of your group?
My favorite hunt flank was hunting RJ base for channel points. Came up behind him and a direwolf killed him. He couldn't believe it. We're dropping ready to. Oh, so camp leader Zippy wants to sync drop. So Zippy, the countdown's going to be delayed, right? So if you want to come hear the countdown directly, you can come into comms over on Discord. I just ask that you keep it family friendly. So G, no coarse foul language and stuff, and be a nice person. That's all you have to do. Oddly enough, that's impossible for some people to do, but it's all you have to do. So hang on, I'll put that in here.
You said we got to be nice?
Yeah, be a nice person. You can't be a jerk to people.
Why?
You know what? You know what?
It's just
Dark,
the
if you
I can't
ran-
explain why, Gunfighter. It's just the rules. There's no logic to it. It's just the rules.
So I just have to be a nice person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I'll try my best.
Wait, Epi, are you
Yeah,
Zippy?
I'm camp leader, Zippy.
Okay,
I have
what kind
many
of
names?
What kind of camp do you lead, Zippy?
It was more of a joke for
It's working for me.
Apex Legends. There's a character called Pathfinder that shoots a zip line, and I would just shoot
okay.
zip lines and
All right.
make them.
Can you modify your name so it says camp leader Zippy next to it also? Keep the Epi, put a slash and then add the other. It's like Wormskull Hellbringer did. Otherwise, I won't know who's where. I mean, I get confused easily at my age. It's just,
So am I inviting somebody else?
We've got a slot. If Mittens is here. So we have 2 slots.
Ocho.
We have one
there's
slot.
8 people here.
We have a slot in our group. So, do you guys have a slot in your group, Corsair?
Yeah, I invited Mittens.
All right, I'll take it. Let's take Zippy.
Alrighty.
Here.
You're not gonna like me because my name in game is different as well. So I made
Oh my
that
gosh, you're
Discord
terrible.
Okay, you have the con, Dark.
Zippy, go to looking for group.
That way you can invite people that I don't have.
Add me to the looking for group queue.
Oops, I just went to I just made a
What are we
lobby.
doing, Dark?
Okay.
I always do that. I always click the wrong button.
Do we need another invite for somebody?
Okay.
Yeah, I've got to do this.
And now what are we doing, Mark?
Hang on. Hold your horses. So what's your game name here? Is it Extendris?
It's Extendibris, yep.
Oh my gosh. You're grounded.
I'm sorry.
You need to be raised all over again.
I was raised Baptist. I don't know what your denomination was.
I was raised by an agnostic father and a Christian mother, and then became a Christian when I was in my end of my junior year in high school.
There you go. Readied up.
But I think the only thing I remember from church board screen 3, 2, 1 launch was going to some Presbyterian church where we made. I was really little, and we made like paper plates with glue and glitter on them. It's like, and I thought, this is the dumbest thing. Why are we doing this? So my church experience was not particularly great growing up, and it didn't really have any kind of influence on me. My dad was a intellectual college redneck professor, agnostic, probably leaning more towards atheism, but not. It's more of a I don't know. So, probably agnostic, I guess is the best way to describe him. So yeah, there's that. My mom baptized herself in the bathtub when she was like 9 or 11 or something like that, which I think is kind of a fun story. But there's a lot of risk involved, because like if you baptize someone, you have to pull them back out of the water. If you baptize yourself, like what if you forget? That can be bad.
Or what if you don't know you're done yet?
Right.
Go in for the extra dip.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
Yeah, like double dipping. Like wait a minute. All sorts of problems there.
Wow. Hey, what happens if you're baptized after you're dead?
Too late. It's too late.
I think they call that embalming.
Embalming.
Does using the holy water helps?
Nope, doesn't help. That's funny. Embalming.
I was baptized after I was dead.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was baptized after I got killed.
But did they baptize you or just give you like a spit bath?
Persian, yes.
No, I actually got baptized after I was killed.
How did that happen?
Well, I was on.
You were on an aircraft carrier, right?
Convalescence leave, right? And I was home, and they did a baptism thing, and they baptized me.
Oh, but you had already been dead and then come back.
Yeah, I'm about to say we're missing a key
before
detail
that.
here.
Yeah, he bled out on the flight deck of a Marine. What kind of transport was it? Came back from a mission all shot up, and he started walking back to off the aircraft and didn't quite make it. And then he died, but they saved him.
Yeah, my aircraft was shot all to Hades. I carried home 11 body bags. Three-fifths of my crew among them.
Ow.
Yeah, man.
And we
D5.
crashed on the flight deck of the USS Tripoli. It's an assault carrier, a Marine assault carrier.
I had never put a link in chat again to an assault carrier, because I had never seen one of those before. It was interesting.
Oh. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Once we see a picture, I think we used to have one of those here in town.
Everybody should have one. They're cool. Everybody needs an assault carrier.
But yeah, my
American
kneecap was
things.
blown off, and I had massive burns and stuff. But
ledge.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Airstrike online. Airstrike activated.
Oh, this is a bad place for me.
You coming, or are you staying back there?
Target spotted.
Locust, could you scout out D6, please?
Alright.
Actually, no, don't go that way. Never mind, don't go that way. I know there's enemies up there.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Hello, Battlemaster.
Oops, Battlemaster. Oops.
Need assistance.
What do we got? One down here? Where's he? Oh, danger
I
close.
got a couple behind me.
Where are you?
Foxtrot, there's Sassman, and there's a Marauder, and someone else back there.
Are you at Fox 5-ish?
Charlie 5, Charlie 5. I'm down.
Come on.
Back on that ridge.
Target spotted.
2 assaults in Charlie 5, guys. Right, turn right.
On my way.
Got an Irby. Oh, you're right here.
Oh.
Watch Echo 5 there, dark.
Target spotted.
Oh, he's running.
Airstrike online.
The radar is unpowered.
Oh, wow, they got 2 annihilators. Not good.
Somebody's shooting me, but I don't really know where from.
Wow.
Gotta be
they got
behind
2
me.
annihilators.
Is he up
That
here?
was unfortunate.
There he is, little bugger.
Charlie 5, Charlie 5, Charlie 5. You'd better turn around. that little pea ant ain't gonna hurt you as much as that Marauder behind
Look to
you.
your right. Look to your right, Dark. Look to your right. Further right. There you go.
Destroyed.
Multiple targets in front of you.
Destroyed.
Back out.
Destroyed.
Nice.
There's no back out here.
Critical damage. Heat level critical.
I already took off my torso or something. Or
Yeah,
something.
they came hard.
I didn't realize there was 3 there. I was trying to help that guy with the little light, keeping him busy.
Like 4 or 5.
Eh.
What do you think took us out, Dark?
The little light?
No, that group.
Oh, that group.
Yeah, that group there that was come out of Charlie 5.
I should have kept going over to help you. Sorry.
Our group kept walking in one at a
I
time.
thought it was Hellbringer looking for help, so I didn't really want to rush over to help him because then he feels like he's not all the Mechwarrior he can be.
Okay. Then. I was the one calling.
I know. I started coming over there and then I got distracted by the little squirrel.
I feel that.
It's like, why go after these great big targets that are really menacing when I could shoot a squirrel? Just stay there. Yeah. Drax is like the old fool by the squirrel trick. I should have called you on my shoe phone. No, Dark. Someone else would have got back there in time. Just stay there and watch them die. I just thought I was Hellbringer. He wouldn't want me to save him. That would kind of take away his glory.
Jeez.
Wow, look at that. There's that assassin I was tagging.
There's also a little flea.
That little flea should just die. About time.
Ooh. Need that
That's the epic kill for the whole game right there, finally getting rid of that flea.
Yeah. The Death Strike is still in not too bad shape on their side. So
Dang, Kodo, you got enough lasers on that thing?
If one of you could get behind him and shoot him in the back while the other distracts him, might be useful.
Is that 6
Yeah, the Vulcan is
pulses?
pretty bad damaged on their end.
This Incubus is all CT red on the back, too. That's not good.
Oh, yeah, they're above you. That's probably...
Is it
assassin?
UAV up above your head?
Acquired. Left torso critical
There he
damage.
comes.
Yeah, there's 2 down below there, too, guys.
Destroyed. Right torso destroyed. Right arm destroyed. Right leg critical
Oh, no.
damage. Pulse laser destroyed. Machine gun ammo
Airstrikes if you
destroyed.
got them.
Aw.
Target
Oh,
acquired.
he's going to die down here.
Left
Rest in peace, Locust.
Mad Cat's only got 1 leg. It's not good. Still got some claws. Look at that. 6 large pulses.
critical.
Yeah.
Is there perks for the
I just-
planets on Rian or Death Strike? I don't think there
Left
is.
leg critical damage.
I think that's like the wrong mech to do that build on.
I just hope they don't get smart and that guy flanks him.
Yep.
Oh, you
That's
got
what they
the
should do.
I think.
Let's just hope they're not watching the stream, getting this key information.
My stream's so popular, no one would be watching it, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, they're hitting them from behind.
One more shot.
Oh, they flanked him. Yep. Good try, guys.
Well,
Great
good
match.
game.
How you doing, Drax? Oh, there's only... Okay, thank you.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, I didn't beat my ping again.
I was about to say, please don't tell me they have to take everything.
Oh, man. How come we're still sitting here?
Incursion.
Oh, we got it incurs.
I got 5 assists at least.
Nice.
Took over 500 damage again. Wow.
Corsair, did you beat your ping?
No.
Darn, I'm sorry. Drax is eating pasta. What kind of sauce pasta? What kind of sauce?
Tell us the sauce.
Want to know the saucy details.
You kind of saucy, is that what you're saying?
I think Drax is being saucy. Well,
Oh, really?
I may drop out of tier 2 still tonight.
Hey, Bob.
Freshly made tomato. Did
What's
you
that?
use tomatoes or tomatoes in it? You made the
Potatoes?
tomatoes? Potatoes and
I prefer
tomatoes.
sauce.
Crematas, huh?
Tomato, tomato.
Pop and Fresh Incorporated.
And we are...
Waiting
We got
for
40 tons in the board.
We're not quite ready.
We're not ready yet.
Did you grow the tomatoes, Drax?
Ready.
Ready,
We
yeah.
got 40
Ready, here we go.
tons.
3, 2, 1, launch. I'm going to have to go to bed here soon. It's getting late.
Yeah, this is my last
Well,
round.
I'm still working up. I work from my assaults up, you know, till I get to the top, and then I go back down and start over again.
Bought a pasta sauce, tomato puree in a glass bottle, but I cut the carrot, onion, and celery stick. Did you put any like beef or sausage or anything like that in there? Any mushrooms? Need a little bit of wine, a little bit of red wine. So Soup King, do I go Campbell or Soup King? It's hard to know. On the real estate stuff, like I know some people are really afraid of, like they'll have an investment property that's a rental, right? And they'll have trouble getting good tenants, or the tenants will damage their property. And we've turned our cottage into an Airbnb, but before that it was a month-to-month rental for 30 years. And we always had really good tenants. and part of that was we didn't do a formal interview process, or a background check or anything like that. We didn't require first and last, and we didn't require a damaged security deposit. We just sat down, talked with them for about 15-20 minutes and got to know them a little bit and made a call based on that. But I'm really good at kind of sussing out people. Like I know Drax, so I already know what's going on there.
Saucy.
And yeah, he's saucy basically. And so we always had good luck with tenants, but it's getting harder and harder to rent properties to people because the regulations and stuff in a lot of cities are making it so that they have more rights than the person who owns the property. And they can damage it, and you can't get them out, and you can't get money to fix what they've done, and so property insurance rates go up and stuff. So it is getting to be a harder thing to do, but I still think it's a viable investment.
Oh, that's what I love. I love all these destructive knuckleheads that vote, and they force rents up. They say, "Oh no, these landlords they're slumlords. That we got to make them pay more taxes and stuff."
Yeah.
And then they want to know why their rent goes up.
or we want to make it so that they have to have a lower rent than they can afford to make the payments on the piece of property. They tried doing that here in our town. They were going to cap rental payments to a certain amount. They were going to try to do that, I think, but some people wouldn't be able to actually make the mortgage on their duplex then because they couldn't charge what they were having to pay, right? So it's like these people on the city council in our city, they have, most of them, I won't say all of them, most of them have zero business sense, common sense, or any kind of sense as far as I can tell.
So are Democrats.
Some of them are no, I think they're either Democrats or they're some other party, but not
communist.
That's probably closer, Gunfighter, honestly.
You said no business sense.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I had a conversation with one of my, this is really interesting to me. One of my own kids, one of my older kids is kind of like, they're all into the democratic socialism and kind of communism is okay. And we need to,
they all have, and everyone have a college education, don't they?
Yep. And we need to make it so that employees have an equal say in companies and not just the owner telling them what to do and stuff like that. So I said, okay, so let's work this through. I've got a music publishing company that I have created. Jennifer and I have created all of the intellectual property in. We've written the songs, we've arranged the songs, we've notated the songs, we've printed the songs, and we've paid for all that, and we've done all that work. And I want to hire someone to answer the phone. And all they need to know how to do, and all they do know how to do, is be polite and nice on the phone and helpful and take a note. And I want to hire somebody to help with the shipping. And all they have to do is print out a label and put stuff in the box and get it, for UPS to pick up. And I want to hire somebody to maybe, fix a computer now and then, although I would do that normally. And then they come to me and they say, well, you couldn't have this business without you, although I did have that business without them for 20 years anyway. And so I could, and I can, but you couldn't be successful without us. Well, although I was, and I could. And so we deserve an equal say and equal pay in whatever you do. And so we want you to pay us the same thing you get paid, which is not very much. They'd be really disappointed there. And we get to decide what next song you write, because we will know better than you do about how to write a song, even though we've never written a song, don't know how, and can't. And
Red smoke, look out.
And I say, and you think that's good for the company? It's good for anybody? Like, do I want a team of people that know nothing about music determining what songs the company writes and publishes and telling me how much to sell it for and everything like that? And they contribute nothing other than something I could get anybody to do. And their answer was yes. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a recipe for failure and disaster in any business. And they don't get it. And I'm sure eventually they'll come around, right? But it's just really interesting. They come out of school thinking that that's a viable business model because it sounds equitable.
Target acquired.
Experience trumps all that. Once
Yeah.
you get some experience in life, they'll sing different tunes.
Yep. And I said, so, like, if you want to start a business like that, by all means, feel free.
Careful,
right?
Flea dropped.
You can start that business, and you can give all those employees all the power you want to give them, and let them determine what happens. And that's called a co-op, and it's legal, and you can do it right here in the United States. And that's great if you want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I don't think you should be able to force me to take something I've spent 2 decades of my life or 3 decades of my life and give it to other people who have no ability to even make it successful. Yes, sir.
They've already tried this multiple times.
Oh, I know.
Actually, it was an automotive plant in Minnesota. And guess what happened?
It didn't work.
It went under within a year.
Yeah.
And mind you, this plant was making millions of dollars profit a year.
So they took it down to nothing within a year.
Yeah.
These lights are tearing us up.
People were paid what they needed to live,
Yeah,
and they got to take off as they needed to, stuff like that. I mean, it all sounds good.
Well, it sounds great. Yep.
Heat level critical.
But
I'm
kind
gonna
of like in communism, right? Only the people in charge actually make anything, and they tell everybody else what they got to do. Blah blah blah.
GG's.
But if everybody's getting what they need, why should they work?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I was just kind of surprised to find that one of my own children thought that made sense.
Janie and Laney ain't doing anything. They're always off with their kids because they need that.
Yep.
Why should I work? Why should I do anything any more than they do?
Drax, Drax, I gotta agree with you. If I could surf all day, that'd be great. Oh wait, that's not what you're saying, is it?
I mean, you can surf all day if your real estate is on the beach.
That's right. That's right.
Buy a duplex.
Buy a duplex on the beach. Have somebody else pay for your duplex while you surf. It's perfect.
There you go.
That was my last drop, so good night, everyone.
Me too. I'm going to end the stream here on a nice big fat loss. And
thanks for the drops.
Thank you.
Like a bag.
Oh, 3 a.m.
The marginally good financial advice was completely free, and there's no refunds.
But like you were saying there, Dark, those knuckleheads that are tearing the place up and stuff like that, and you can't do anything about it.
Well, I don't.
And insurance companies that you have to get, they want ridiculous amounts to insure it so that it's repaired when the idiots tear it up.
Oh yeah, for apartments and stuff like that.
You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah. Well, and if you can do your own work, like if
that's why I've got multiple places that I'm not. I'll let them rot first before I rent them out.
Well, there are good people, and some people will take good care of a place, and they'll let you know if something goes wrong so you can fix it.
Like I said, my niece is in one of them.
Yeah, it's just that you're losing the ability to get rid of the bad ones, and you need to be able to do that. Because they'll just keep doing it until they're required to leave, then they'll pay attention better next time. And you won't be able to keep your own property if it keeps happening like that. Oh man, I think I'm back into tier 3 by the end of the night. Let's take a look here and see how bad it is.
Oh, and that's like they were squawking $15 an hour, right? And we're saying, you know what's going to happen? As soon as they make that the minimum wage, prices are going to go up, and there's going to be massive inflation, et cetera, et cetera. You know.
Back in tier 3. I made it back all the way back. I had a nice journey up into tier 2 for an evening, and then back down to tier 3 to end it off. That's great. Nice balance, the kind of yin yang kind of thing going on here. That's me.
And don't you think that's funny? Exactly what we said would happen is what happened.
Well, it's not just that, but that's part of it. Yeah. There was on the Microsoft campus, there was I think I've talked about this before, there was a restaurant that was popular, it was doing well, and when they went to the higher minimum wage, the prices went up to cover it, and then I know, Hellbringer, I'll switch out sometime, maybe tomorrow night, and then they had to lay people off because they couldn't afford as much staff, and the staff was overworked, but they weren't getting paid enough, and the service was bad, and so they started losing customers, and pretty soon they had to shut down. And there's always a balance that you have to make. You've got to make a profit. Now, sure, you want to pay people as much as you can, and you want to keep people that are good and pay them enough to want to stay, but you've also got to make that work within the framework of that business being profitable. If it's not profitable, it all goes away no matter what. So it's a balance. Let's see. Like I said, what you ought to be serfs, so none of you get paid at all, and I get to keep it all. I am the overlord. Drax, I know that having you as an overlord would be fine, because you would give everyone Valentine's Day cards and flowers. Well, at least all the women. I don't know what would happen. I guess the men would just work out in the field all the time.
No, Doc. He will make sure you eat your cat.
He would make sure I eat my cat. That's right, Crimson.
Yum, yum.
That is what Drax would do.
Times are tough.
Times are tough. Even tougher now that Drax is the serf.
You keep asking me what happened to my cat.
I mean the overlord. Oh man. All right, everybody. Thanks for the drops. It's been. That's what it's been. It's been. I've never.
You're running away now.
I've never experienced anything quite like this before. Is what I would say. So until next time, this has been Ghostlands and Dark Marauder, your host. Your favorite place to waste the most important moments of your life has been here, and now they're gone, never to be seen from again, unless you watch the replay, and that's free too. And it's another way to waste even more time. You can double down on the wasted time by watching it all over again. I'm talking value here. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Later.
Is it playing the thing? It's supposed to be playing the thing. Come on, play the thing. Oh, it's broken. It's not playing the thing. Wow, I'll try this then. This dumb thing. Here, we'll do this. Good night, guys. See you later.
Ciao.
Night.